So this is the document actually focuses on the three areas that we need to look, we need to really analyze impacts and responses. The first and foremost is group is our members, because as we know, we are not all here without our members. And I was telling earlier that with this crisis, it's not only a health crisis, but it's going to be it's really now a financial crisis at the same time. So when it's financial crisis, it affects individuals, it affects families, it affects communities, and it affects institutions. The second group that we also need to focus on is our members. I'm sorry, is our employees, because employees, of course, are all at the same time members of your credit union, but your employees will definitely be affected because they cannot go to job, they cannot perform their work the way we used to do before the coronavirus struck us. And the last one is very much important, is our institution. We need to ensure that we are operating efficiently even in a not normal situation. So I'll go through very quickly about each areas, and I hope that you will internalize, reflecting back to your credit union, whether is this really something that you are really facing. On the members, are these four areas that we have seen, and I'm going to one by one. This is also very important. I came across this result of survey that is performed by one consulting company, and the question of the survey was, in what way your credit union support you and your family during this situation? And there are top three answers. So number one is increase my peace of mind, provide me with the relief I need to get through this crisis. So do you have a member something feeling like this? This is something emotional, and this is something that, they are, according to the survey, they want the credit union to help them in this way. And the next one is build my hope, continually be there for me through guidance and solutions. And number three, reduce my unnecessary stress, make it easy for me to access staff and tools when and how I need them. So these are the three important, maybe something that we need to think about together. On the members' health, we are not a medical institution, but I think we can do something about this, because now this is a health crisis, and experts are saying that, age vulnerability, people 60 years and above are more susceptible to this virus, and also that people with weak immune system are also susceptible for the infection. And maybe this is something a lesson that we can learn, whether our credit union can also promote health education. Even you are not a medical institution or professional institution on that line, proper education to the people will help them increase their risk on this coronavirus, because according to the study, this virus will be there, and even if the vaccine is already discovered. So it's something that it's already become part of our daily lives. Members' ability to pay is definitely another concern, because there's a lot of your members whose income is not really has been affected, because many businesses closed down. In Bangkok, I read the news that there will be around 7 million people who will be left jobless because of this crisis. I was just talking this morning with my friend, and her daughter is working in the hotel industry, and the hotel industry is laying off their staff. You can also see a lot of that in your respective countries because of this crisis. Our members who are doing business, our members who are farmers, and members who has also a means for paying the loan, but because the doorstep service is now stopped, because you will not allow you did not allow your staff to go house to house during this lockdown. Price increase might be also be affecting, because during the crisis, there are instances that they are hoarding goods, and you cannot buy things from the market because of out of stock and increase in prices. So in the document, we are also saying that we need to look at financial counseling. We also need to help facilitate, not credit union to sell the goods of the farmers, but facilitate the selling of members' produce during the lockdown. And this is important, reach out to members. You know, your staff did not work during the lockdown. Maybe they can utilize their time to use technology to reach out to their members, have a group chat with the members, because, you know, as the survey says, they need they need someone to talk, because everybody, I think, is uncertain, including credit unions. So another one is because there's a lot of people who will be jobless. We really need to include in our lending services business development support, so that our members would see opportunities for business even now and after the pandemic. Okay. Yeah, digital channels. I hope that your credit union has a digital channels, so that they will be able to perform their financial services using digital channels. One of the issues that we have seen is that, especially the people who are low income, they might have their smartphones and also connected to internet. Maybe they have Facebook, but not the use of digital channels or for financial services like the payment platform. In the Philippines particularly, you have a Kaya payment platform. If only the credit union is using it, they would be able to use their mobile phone to transfer money, to pay to your credit union, and also to pay their utilities. Because during this crisis, and I think onwards, even the government will discourage people using coins and notes. So, you know, this is areas that we need to look at, discourage dependence on cash, and we really need to train our members on digital, how to use digital channels of our credit union. Okay, about the members' resilience is the mental and financial health of the members that we have seen. You know, when you do not have financial freedom, or you always have financial trouble, definitely there is also mental problem. Always is very stressful. So we would like the resilience that we have seen is that on the part of the member is that there are two things. Members do not have financial independence or financial literacy. I've seen in Philippines that a lot of people think the government has to feed us during the lockdown. But I don't think that is a right mentality, because during the lockdown, you should have at least 6 months of your monthly expenses in your savings, so that whatever happened or whatever crisis happened, you do not need to depend on other people to feed your family and to meet your daily needs. So this is the reason why there's a lot of people the wanting to go out and wanting to work, even it's lockdown, because the problem is that they do not have money to survive. So to our credit union, this is a big lesson, is that we need to help our members to become financially resilient. All right, for the staff is this: job security and morale, work from home challenges, and health protection. I hope that we will not hear any layoff of the staff in the credit union, because we have prepared for it. If the credit union has enough institutional capital, this is not going to be a problem, because the staff are performing a very difficult task during this time, and we need to utilize their time and their talent in order to reach out to the members and help the members to become resilient. Okay, I'm sure that you have read that in our document. I now go to the institution. There's a lot of things here in the institution. So I am sure that you are a large credit union and you have done a lot of these things. I will just go through it very quickly, and probably during our sharing session, you would be able to share what are the things other than what I discussed have you done in your respective credit union. All right. The first thing is that we need to have a business continuity plan. This is the process of creating systems of prevention and recovery to deal with potential threats to credit union. Some of the credit union I know has a disaster plan, but that disaster plan was geared towards protecting their credit union and operating normally in times of earthquake, especially in Nepal, and in times of typhoon or flood. But never we have came across continuity planning about the health crisis. I think that's something that we never thought about. Okay, so if you will only go through the document that we have prepared and you identify the impacts and the risk and responses, this is exactly a business continuity plan. Yeah, if any one of you would like to have a separate session regarding this, it's definitely be, Akio is very willing to facilitate this for you. All right, liquidity management is another area. So, this time we need to really have a cash flow projection. If it's possible, it is weekly. And, if there is a need for short-term liquidity funding from the Federation, I'm sure that the Federation is willing to help. This is now the time that I hope everybody also understand. It's very important to expand and to have our digital channels ready in our credit union, so that during, we can help our members to use this to even access our financial services, even they cannot go out from home. On the lending, we really advise to avoid granting new loans if they will create more indebtedness to the members. But we need to make sure that our lending support is available for business and farmers. And then our credit union also need to review the lending processes, because the environment has changed a lot during this time, and integrate business development services in lending. Portfolio quality, the portfolio is definitely affected now because of the ability of the members to pay. What we need in our credit union is to establish scenarios on the number of members and the loan amount affected by the crisis, and give them moratoriums and renegotiations. The moratorium and renegotiation will only be applied to all those members really been affected by the crisis. And we need to also be transparent on the loan portfolio quality to the board. In terms of savings, I'm sure that this is very important for us to focus on. We need to counsel our members, our suggestion, especially our credit unions are operating in communities where there's a lot of, incidents of poverty and low income people. We really need to help our members to build their emergency fund. Um, uh, if possible, this is our suggestion, make it mandatory for every member, especially the low income members, to build their emergency fund. It's not an overnight, but this is a financial goal that we will set with our members. So our staff of the credit union should really be into counseling of our members and really helping members see opportunities and ray of hope, silver lining, I should say, in these times of crisis. On the revenue is we need to explore new loan offering that promotes MSMEs and provide services that support value chain for members' business success. So if we are not doing the value chain now, or if you are doing now, we really need to review and enhance the value chain promotion among our members' businesses. If you have external borrowing, maybe this is possible to renegotiate with existing external funding and access grant if available. If this is, we suggest that this is be the role of the federation. Okay. If you have a planned, capital expenditure, probably this is the time to revisit that decision. Postponing it and reduce your expenses. And we would like to really request, if you have not reached the 10% institutional capital ratio to total assets, this is the financial cushion in time of crisis. And we would like to recommend the credit unions that has not reached this one to please prioritize this one in your operation. In also governance is that we need to ensure board can perform their oversight functions during the time of crisis and during the time of lockdown, and ensure that this is the role of the governance or the board, ensure that business continuity plan is in place, and with legal compliance, adherence to regulatory guidelines of the regulators and government, and provide feedback to Federation on regulatory advocacy. I think that is all my presentation, and we will open up for sharing and question and answers if you have. Thank you so much for listening. I think I will request Father Freddy from Indonesia. Father Freddy? Father Freddy has a good story to share. Father Freddy? Okay, I think Father Freddy is away. Anyone who would like to share? Maybe your challenge? This is so nice because most of our supporter members are here. Thank you so much, except for Korea. We have 125 supporter members from Korea. I talked to them and they said that they just want to see, they just want to listen to the recording, and so we are sending it to them because of the language barrier. All right. Anyone who would like to share anything? This is your
Uh,
time.
Lenny,
Yes.
uh,
I don't see who's speaking.
hello,
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Edwin,
Godwin.
Godwin.
Yes. Thank you, Godwin. Godwin. Thank you so much. Yes,
Lenny,
Godwin.
I would like to share also important initiatives because a lot of our cooperatives in the Philippines have initiated also during the COVID time. But the most important one, I would like to share a little on our mobile market because we're able to connect products of our members, especially our farmers and fisher folks and micro, small, medium enterprise, especially on the mobile market or the rolling store. We were able to connect on the District 1 and District 2, composed of 4 municipalities, especially those areas or who's having a lockdown, total lockdown. So people cannot go to other municipalities because of the lockdown of the LGUs. So we're able to connect and we're able to market products, uh, especially in the municipality of Calamba, Plaridel, Panaon, and Sinacaban. And for the last two rolling store, we're able to connect also with the national government, particularly the Department of Trade and Industry for the Descuento Caravan. So aside from connecting the products of our farmers and co-op members, we were able to connect also other goods which the DTI connected also to other producers, no? So it's a consolidation of our products and the products of other establishments also. So it's a very good initiative, and well, our learning is maybe we can consider to institutionalize that rolling store or mobile market also with our cooperatives for us to help our farmers and members bring their products to the markets. So that's all, Lini.
Okay. Thank you very much, Godwin. Um, Anyone would like to share? I think we have also, I would like to recognize Vic Martik. I think he's our supporter from Australia. Good morning. Yeah, anyone would like to share any something or what actually your challenges, the challenges that you are facing now that you find it difficult to cope up with. So probably this group would be able to share some solutions that they have already implemented.
Ma'am Lenny,
Yes, good morning, Divine. Okay, please go ahead.
good morning to each and everyone.
Yes,
Nice
happy
to see
birthday.
you in our teleconference. Lenny, thank you so much for recognizing me to share what we have done during the lockdown and the ECQ and GCQ. So because of our mixed programs and services of the Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives, though of course I'm not telling that we were not being affected by the pandemic COVID-19. But we are so blessed in the province of Ilocos that there is no infected in our province. So that is why our operations, uh, it's not that difficult to transact. So there are some flexibilities that the government gave us. So like during the lockdown, even the cooperatives not supposed to operate, we were able to still transact to some of our members. And again, as I've said, because of our mixed operations of the federation, because we have the palay trading, we have the basic commodities marketing like the pisos, the cooking oil, the rice trading, and other basic commodities. We were able to operate to the extent that we also transacted with the different local government units to supply their rice in their requirement for the relief, and also for uh, the the disinfectant like the alcohol, and also some vitamin C supplement. And we were able to transact with the different communities and different local government units. So I should believe that the cooperative, I'm not saying that must have to have multi type of a cooperative, but uh, it is really essential that a cooperative must have also to have social, especially now that we are now facing with the different kind of challenges of the environment. So again, many so far, our operation, hindi, it's not being affected that much because of the of our situation that there is no positive in our area where we operate. So so much.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Divine. We are very, how do I say, we are very curious because right now there is no doubt cooperatives and credit unions are doing a great job. I have seen that on Facebook. You know, you are there in the community distributing food. You are also there donating PPEs to the hospitals and to the frontliners. That's a great job. But moving forward, because that's temporary, that's a temporary solution. You are just humane. All board of directors are feeling that need to support. But moving forward, um, how our credit unions will really help, or will really, how do I say, will really operate and will really help our members. I think with that question, I would like to invite Father Freddy to share what they have done in their credit union in Indonesia. Is Father Freddy back? I saw he's back.
Yes, Lenny, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much, Father.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah,
Good
thank you
morning,
for
Father.
Lenny. Thank you for your opportunity to share a little bit experience of our credit union in Indonesia. Um, During the pandemic, yeah, we all uh, realize the impact of the COVID for everyone. But in our credit union, especially Sawan Sibarung Credit Union, which one of the Axis branding silvers, uh, we found out that we can run our credit union properly, and yeah, we accompany the members, our members in facing this situation. And but I want to say that disaster preparedness uh, start with our good governance in the past. So if you want to struggle, if you want to sustainable, we have to practice the good governance uh, in the all time, not now, not only now. That means the policy must be very, very good, prepare good, and develop a system. And secondly, we have to prepare good education for the members. For example, we have no problem with the members now. That is also good, but we still have a problem for livestock product of some of our group. It is the impact, but many of the group of farmers, rice farmers, and many kind of group is still running well now. this like Lenny. Yeah, many kind of our experience, but we face now the situation same with you all, but we feel that we are still safety. We can continue our credit union. We have no problem with liquidity, delinquency, net institutional capital, and we also thank because our management is still doing for good performance. It means that they still fulfill their target of their own. And also the best important thing is we suggest staff to approach members according to their problem. Not we don't give them announcement for all. We don't give them a solution for all, but we gave them solution for every problem of members, because we have a good communication with the members, and also we have volunteers. We have more than 500 volunteers in the community to help the members in the fields. So we are credit union. Credit union is ours, so we have to prepare a long time, and we have to care everyone. This is our experience. Lenny, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Father. By the way, Father now is the head of Caritas in Indonesia, Father. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you have more role to play this time. Thank you very much, Father. Father, credit union is San Subarong in Indonesia, and it's also a gold access branded, same with our Tagum cooperative. And also we have an access branded co-op. Silver is the San Jose del Monte, and also some of the co-ops in Nepal. For the access branded co-op, I was always telling we are not worried about them, because we are very sure that they have a controlled delinquency, and they have implemented financial literacy to their members, and also that they have sufficient institutional capital according to the requirement. So maybe this is a challenge to all other supporter members. You need to enroll in the access branding so that we can help you be prepared, because the access branded co-ops, as Father was saying, is they are every time prepared. Okay, so I think Juris would like to share something. Jur called my attention. She said she wanted to share. Yes, Juris, go ahead. Oh, we cannot hear her. We cannot hear you, Juris. Juris, we cannot hear you. Can anyone hear Juris?
We cannot hear you.
Yeah. Jur? Okay, so Jur, while you were, okay, while Juris is fixing her microphone, can we ask from Australia, anyone from Australia who would like to share? Is Mark still there? Mark! I don't want to hear from Paul. Yesterday we had Paul. Sorry, Paul. We'll hear from Mark now.
Really good, Paul. Hello, Lenny. Yes,
Hi, Mark.
I can let you know what's occurring in Australia. Really, the effect, excuse me, the effect on most credit unions is that we've been required almost by government regulation to allow for repayment holidays on loans for persons who are affected by the COVID crisis. So if people have been made redundant or have lost their job or are self-employed and their income is reduced, they can apply to lenders in order to have a repayment holiday of up to 6 months, and then they have to reapply. And the regulator is giving some relief for our arrears positions for those, when they're considered to be COVID affected. Other than that, the government has been involved in providing funding that mutuals can access through the Reserve Bank. We're able to access funds that we can then on-lend to small businesses. So the government providing that at 0.25%, and we then on-lend that to our small businesses. And interestingly, the government's taking 50% of the risk of those loans going bad, and the credit union takes 50% of the risk going bad. So other than those, we haven't had a great impact in Australia. We're almost as good as Thailand in our response to the COVID crisis, in that there hasn't been a massive breakout. It's been managed by the government very well.
Yeah.
And so we're sort of struggling along pretty well. The only other impacts are people working from home, which we've successfully implemented for staff who are able to do so. So that there's reduced travel, there's less capacity for people to cross-infect by working at branches. So, but that becomes a productivity issue that we have to measure. But other than that, our responses are not unlike the ones that you've put together in your business solution. And thanks for the opportunity for me to explain what's happening in Australia.
Okay, thanks, Mark. I have one question for you, Mark. What about the reporting requirements? Definitely, when during this time your loan portfolio, non-performing loans or delinquency is affected. What about the reporting? I mean, in terms of your provisioning or things like that in regulation, is there an adjustment? Because this is a question that's going on here, because we have a standard on the loan portfolio quality, and so the loan portfolio quality is affected this time. So what has been the regulatory adjustment? If there is any?
Right. We're under a different regime in many ways, where we have a calculation of our reserves is risk-weighted capital adequacy, and under Basel standards. And what the regulator's done has given some relief for the risk weightings of securities on loans. So it's a bit complicated, but it's not a huge amount of relief. It just means that our provisions might be less than they would otherwise be in similar circumstances.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yes,
if I may say, Lenny, one of the impacts is the regulator is requiring much more regular reporting. We're having to report on liquidity weekly to both the regulator and our self-regulatory organisation. We're reporting on liquidity backups in case there was a run. What's occurred because of the crisis is a greater level of reporting, unfortunately, than we had previously, because every regulator and government organisation wants to know more about how we're performing. So that has been an increased burden from that perspective, yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. That's very good to know. This is also our concern here. Cash flow, liquidity is also an issue in some of the credit unions. I'm happy to hear they are not saying that this is their problem right now for the supported members. Yes, and also the quality of loan is definitely affected. All right, okay, I think Juris is now ready. Jur?
Hello. Can
Yes,
you hear me?
yes, we can hear you now. Okay, now it's okay.
Hello.
Yes, it's okay now, Juris, we can hear you.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, my statement is just a rejoinder of that statement of Sir Tony as to the situation in the Philippines, where usually distribution of interest on share capital and patronage refund is done after the General Assembly. But this time, CDA issued an advisory, a circular, allowing cooperatives to issue or to distribute interest on share capital and dividends even with the AGA or the ARA is postponed. So Tagum Cooperative in the midst of the pandemic on the first week of April, April 1 actually, really was successful in distributing its interest on share capital and patronage and the refund. No, so our members are really very happy. They express their gratitude for Tagum Cooperative that despite the limitation on the lockdown, limitation on the transportation and social distancing, Tagum Cooperative is still able to give them assistance in times of their need.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Juris. I am reviewing the chat box and there is one comment here. So from who? From Monique, I think. No, is that Monique?
Yeah, for
Yes,
Monique,
yes, Ma'am
Monica
Lenny.
Salida.
Yes, it's
Monica.
from Monique. Okay,
Yeah.
Monique. But rather than I read this, can you share now?
Yes, Ma'am Lenny.
Yes, yes, Monique.
Uh, I'm just requesting if ACU can also sponsor one forum focusing on just the business continuity planning, because that is very necessary in this time of crisis wherein cooperatives will be able to plan and implement it. However, in our cooperative, in Tagum Cooperative, we already have that plan subject for final approval by the board. But then we are excited to have ACU a separate session on this, if that is possible, Miss Lenny.
Okay, sure, no problem. We can host that one. That is exclusively for supporter members because we know you are very loyal to us. You are paying the dues to us, and we would like to return it at this time. So this is your privilege. This is
Thank
your
you.
privilege. No problem.
Thank you, Ma'am Lenny.
Yes,
Thank
no
you very much.
problem. We'll
Okay.
just fix the date.
Yes.
Probably not next week, maybe the week after. Is that okay?
Yes,
And
yes. Yes.
everybody attend to that.
Okay. We
Yeah,
will invite the board of directors and
sure.
other officials, and of course, the key management officers to also attend, Ma'am Lenny.
Okay, sure, no problem. If okay, no problem to that.
Thank you.
Yes, you're most welcome. If there is there any other concern, because what we want is, this is not only, how do you call, one way. This is a two-way webinar because we would like, we know that you are also representing the rest of the credit unions in your respective countries, like Indonesia, Nepal, Philippines. We would like to hear from you. What are the concerns or what are the things that you want your federation to do for you during this time? We are all in this together. Even they are federation, even primary credit union, even ACU. We are all in this together, and we can only, help our members if we will work together. So we would like you to tell us what are the things you really wanted for the federation or for ACU to do for you, considering that you're also representing other credit unions. Yes, sir.
Lenny,
Yes.
I think what we have realized because of this COVID-19 is the fact that this time I think the digitalization of the co-op operations should really be pursued, because nowadays people are prohibited to be in contact with each other. And then, you know for a fact, in the Philippine cooperative setting, many of the co-ops are not yet fully automated. So when it comes to transaction by members with their co-ops, it has become a problem to them. So I think I don't know if ACU could really push and then realize the full automation of our co-ops in the Philippines. That would be better. I know it's a tall order, but in the light of this COVID-19, the so-called automation of co-ops has become imperative. That's
Yeah.
the realization that we have this time.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Tony, this is a tall order, really. It's a tall order. It's a tall order. But anyway, we have, as everybody knows, we are working with the World Council and with the Gates Foundation for the interoperable payment platform to be piloted in the Philippines and Indonesia. There is the discussion for the second phase is still ongoing. I was in the phone call with them last week, and I'm so sorry because right now it's the process is getting slow because of this pandemic. But I want to share with you that this is a still ongoing discussion with the Gates Foundation, and we will see that the interoperability platform will be implemented in Philippines and Indonesia. Yeah.
Because Lenny, to be honest with you, even Tagum Co-op, who I believe among the primary co-ops, not to brag, but I think Tagum in terms of what we call, speaking of IT, I think Tagum Co-op is ahead with the other primaries. But personally, I'm not yet really contented with what we have compared to private corporation digital way of doing things. There is still more for Tagum Co-op to really come up in order for us to really be so-called comparable with the private sector IT program. So, as I've said, although we are a little bit advanced, but it is yet far behind when it comes to the big private corporations full computerization. So I think there's really a need to push for that. I hope that will happen for the next 3 to 5 years, yung sa Bill Gates Foundation.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for that, and we'll definitely put that into priority. It's on the, it's already there. So we'll keep you updated on that area. Okay. Well, we are very efficient. Any other comment? We'd like to hear from you. Let me hear from our Nepal supporter members. Nepal? Do we have Nepal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please. Who is speaking? KB?
Yeah.
KB, please.
Yes, good morning, ma'am, and
Yes,
all of
good
you.
morning, KB.
I'm from Nepal, Chief Manager of Vindhyavasini Sakos. I think in Nepal, condition is very poor. I think it's getting poor. In this pandemic period, we have done a lot of things for the member as well as other activities also, like home home delivery system as well as other this other time we open the office even partially, and we are giving service to the member if they need withdrawal facilities up to 50,000 to 100,000. As well as we are providing emergency facility loan also if they need to buy food or something and for treatment also. As well as we have the program for the member for about us be care of COVID-19. And we have other program like for public also. We have distributed some health materials also, and I think we have a problem in Nepal due to this. In visiting the field, we are running microfinance also. To run the microfinance group, it is difficult to go and come, and we have given some authority to group leaders to collect and give the message to office. But it is difficult to go and come. There is some strict in local area, local government also. So I think we are giving facilities more than bank. Even in lockdown time also. I think, and we are providing facility as well as we are for condition of financial institution is I think conditionally going on, and even in lockdown period I think we have collected about 30 million interest. I think it is good support from the member also, positive support from the member also. I think it's good for our institution. Okay, thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you very much, KB. KB Credit Union is also a Access brand cooperative, SACOS in Nepal, and their outreach are actually the low-income women. Most of their members are women. I think they have around 50,000 in the. Is that KB? How many members do you have?
Yep, about 37,000 plus
Okay.
child 7,500.
All right, okay, 37,000.
Yeah.
70,000 mostly women, and they are in the group lending. Is
No,
it?
not ma'am. About 23,000 women
Okay, 23,000
out of
women.
37. Yeah.
Yes, and they are in the group, and they are in the group, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, KB. So it's good to hear you have no problem. You are doing well in your credit union. We are confident with those who got the
Yes. We have sufficient liquidity also. About 22% we have.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
And I heard that you also have collected savings even during the time of pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's good to hear that. It's good to hear. But I think there is a lot of sharpening that we need to do in our credit union once the lockdown, is over. Because what I have seen is that there is a need to help our members to become resiliency in their finance, and resiliency also in their health, isn't it? I think credit union should play a very big role on these two areas, financial resiliency and physical resiliency for our members. All right, and also resiliency in our credit union by ensuring that we meet the requirement for institutional capital. It's 10%. Any other?
Okay, Lenny.
Yes, Father.
Okay. now we always face disasters now, natural or not natural disasters. So it's better for us as a credit union movement to prepare members in facing disasters, and also to accompany all the credit union and federation to understand and aware very much about disasters. Disasters in comprehensive knowledge, in comprehensive insight, not only to see the disasters by accident also in every moment, but to realize that the situation of the people in the world is running in a new normal situation. So we have to find out the solution for human being in our way in cooperative, So I suggest for us, I suggest myself not to put the credit unions as only to provide financial services at strict and financial services. It means that I provide saving and I provide loans. So if we manage the members as a human being and we accompany them as a human being, credit union grow and members grow. Not only look like now we hear many big credit union with big asset, but in this situation, what can they do for the members? What can they do for the members? If they can do to help the members in resilience, the big credit union is nonsense for us. Nonsense. With the executive management, with the very good shoes, and very good custom, but the poorest they can reach out. So this time to consider again our situation and put the credit union as a credit union. For me, the credit union is identity. It's very clear for us. The problem is many people can put the credit union in the mission. So this is the time. So for example, lending. I want to mention some cooperative. They have a big problem now in loan. Why? Because they provide loan system for members according to the bank, according to another institution. Give them a loan, but not obey the standard of credit union. For example, for the capacity to pay, the situation. That is impact now for us. So if you want to struggle in the future, sustainable in the future, let us put the credit union to accompany the people as a human being. This is my first point. The second point is application for the IT system is very important. Now we have provide good system. So in this situation, we can help members. We can have no problem. They can go to the office, but they can pay their ability. Okay, this is all, Lenny. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Father. That was a very powerful message that you gave us. How do I say? If the credit union is really putting the principles and behaving the credit unions according to the principles, there will be no problem. As you said, credit union is not just a financial institution. I always mention this. Raiffeisen was telling credit unions must not confine themselves to granting loans. The role of the credit union is to ensure that members' moral and physical values are developed because they would be able to stand on their own 2 feet. So those are not only meant that credit union has to be sticking on providing financial services, but our role is also to, to shape up every human or every member of the credit union to be a good person and in our credit union and in the society. So that was a very good message, Father. Well, is there any other sharing that you want to have?
Lenny?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir?
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
Before I will go out of this forum, I have one thing. You know, when I read the text in the video, Ranjit was telling us that the CDA of the Philippines should really redirect, or shall we say, plan out for how to cope up with the challenge regarding general assemblies, the conduct of general assemblies, and so on and so forth. But you know, to be honest, there is a problem now because even our government regulator, our CDA, is traditional. They cannot accept changes or innovation. In fact, in Tagum Co-op, as well as NATCO, are the ones initiating that, why don't we conduct virtual general assembly?
Right.
And then we give them the mechanics. But you know, the initial response of CDA is that they're very legalistic. They told us that we cannot do that because that is not provided in our laws. It is not provided in our regulation. So this kind of thing, this kind of responses of CDA would really discourage or shall we say stall cooperatives to move forward because even regulators are not receptive. So that is the problem now that we are facing. I hope CDA in the Philippines would really, you know, consider our proposal because if this kind of thing happen, not only now, God forbid, even in the future, another disaster will happen. What will the co-ops in the Philippines do if we will not accept changes or innovation like we proposed virtual online general assembly? If our CDA itself is not lukewarm, so to speak, is lukewarm to accept that kind of proposal. So that is the challenge that we are having now, and I hope CDA, if ever, I don't know if they are part of this forum, they should understand that, in this world, stronger people cannot survive. It's only the one that can adapt change that will survive in this world. So that it should be that kind of mentality that CDA should have.
Yes, thank you very much for that point. We are very, very efficient in this webinar. I will invite Paul. Paul is a very loyal supporter of ACU, the credit union of Paul from Australia. So I would like to acknowledge him. Sorry, Paul.
Thank you, Lenny. You really didn't have to. Look, it's very interesting listening to all the great work that is going on, and all the great support of members of ACU are carrying out. I can only echo the words of Mark as what's happening in Australia. Our biggest challenge right now, other than the obvious as far as helping our members, I think is going to be complacency. We're starting to slowly open up the community from lockdown and whatnot. So I think complacency amongst the public is likely to be an issue and could well, hopefully not, lead to another wave of infection. So let's hope that doesn't happen in any of our countries. But just want to echo the words of thanks, Lenny, to you and Ranjit, and congratulations on the jumping on the front foot as you always do, and leading the charge to help all your member societies. And good luck to everyone. If there's anything that I can do or any of my colleagues in Australia can do to help you guys out, you know, you only need to reach out. And thank you again.
Yes, thank you very much, Paul. I would also like to extend, I think Mark already left, but I would like to extend, since you are also board of director of the Australian Mutuals Foundation, I would like to extend your support to the Asian Credit Union movement. The Australian Mutuals Foundation is providing us financial support to promote credit unions in Timor-Leste, in China, and in Laos. Thank you very much for our Aussie friends for always with us. So I would like to invite Kunranjit for any thoughts he has regarding this webinar.
Thank you so much, Kuleni. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. I think I don't have an extra, but Attorney Aranya is bringing a very valid point. I think world is changing. My understanding, world will never go back before March. It's going to be continued. It's never going to ending. We have to find the solution, looking and knocking the door of the CDA to understand and ask what's the suggestions. We have to live with this environment. So I think the best environment is the representative General Assembly as well as virtual General Assembly. It should be a part of the regulatory framework. I am sure that CDA, your article has a certain power to CDA to do that. I think it's a matter of your pushing. I think very good questions bringing that. One is how to do the assessment of the ability to pay for our members. They are very good loyalty member. They are seriously affected the economy. ACU has developed the one tool, and we have given to the Access Brand Cooperative. I think we can share it that it's not that simple. Our concern to our member who was really affected, they lost the job, they lost their business. Only that people will give the certain grace period and not giving the like a blanket coverage. Everybody no need to pay for the long that installment. We have to make an assessment for every individual members. I think that will be quite a comprehensive work. I think your loan officers must meet us level electronically, and you have to assess. I think we can share that document also. I think very quick question is everyone now understand digitalization, how important to continuity of our business. I think everyone need to find it's not going to be a tomorrow solution. At least it take around nearly 1 year. If you start digitalizing your business, it take nearly 1 year. I think everyone need to each country-based national federation and knock the national federation and ask for them to do that. I think that's very important. We will have another webinar for business continuity plan. I think we'll invite you. I think the whole next week we are fully with the webinars, and maybe middle of June we'll come back with another seminar about the tools business continuity. Thank you so much, Kuleni. Thank you so much for attending, everyone. Have a good day. Stay bright. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. So we will be posting this webinar to our Facebook and to our YouTube channel. You can access it. If there is no more question, so then we can wind up this webinar. Thank you so much. So I think our message is that we need to help our members to become resilient, financial resiliency and health resiliency. And we also need to ensure that our credit union is resilient in the time of crisis. We should not wait until this is finished. And ACU will be helping you to prepare your business continuity plan if necessary. Just email us who would like to really join. And so thank you. We cannot thank you enough for the support that you have extended to ACU for so many years. Thank you very much for coming together in such a compassion. And we are very honored and humbled to all of you. The crisis is an equalizer for all of us, no matter how big your credit union is, and no matter what nationality you are here, and we are all one to really look into the well-being of our members. Thank you, everyone, and
Thank
see
you,
you.
everyone.
Same. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Sawadee ka.
Thank you. Sawadee ka.